Hello, everybody. My name is Gregg-Ham. I'm the host and founder of this podcast named The Musicians of Today. Today, I have a special guest, Ranbir Singh. He's from Virginia, and he is a violinist. Ranbir, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi everyone, I'm Ranbir. Like Amari said, I'm a violinist from Virginia. I am 16 years old, and yeah, I look forward to a productive conversation.
And Ranbir, so how long have you been playing the violin?
So I've been playing the instrument for about 8 years now.
Okay. Give us a little background of how you started.
So I think like a lot of other people, I started through school. Uh, Earlier in elementary school, I think third or fourth grade, we were introduced to some of these new instruments that were new to compared to things like recorders or keyboards. So yeah, I saw my teacher play a song for us, and I thought that that was very interesting. So uh, from that point onward, I decided to start learning the instrument, and yeah, that's how it started.
And what made you keep want to play the violin?
So I think I've always had a bit of a soft spot for classical music, and I think not only being able to listen to it but play it myself, that's definitely been one of the leading factors in how I've been continuing with my passion. So yeah, I think just playing myself rather than listening to others is
Mhm.
definitely a
So,
privilege.
so you say that classical music is like your favorite. It's like your favorite type
Yes,
of music.
I'd say
Yeah.
so.
Okay. And how do you feel that you made it through all these years as a musician and you are where you are today? What kind of pushed you to be who you are today?
Well, something that has pushed me to get to the point where I am today is probably just being surrounded by other people that play. I'd say just I think the idea of I guess you could also kind of say that it's like mm, not sure how to put it. It's like wanting to kind of I'd say exceed others. I guess you could say that. So yeah, just
Exceed
trying to be
others.
the best out of the
Yeah,
group.
trying to
I
be the
guess.
best.
Yep.
Well,
Even if it doesn't
what
always
what do you
happen, you gotta try.
what do you feel the best is? What do you when you think of the best? When you say the word the best, what
Mhm.
what do you think of?
So I think music can go two ways. Uh, there's a difference between playing it and then actually playing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So there's a
Yeah.
difference between just playing what's written on the paper and then adding yourself to the paper as well. So it's adding your own elements to music. I think that's what makes it special.
So you think adding yourself, your own self into the music is the best part of being a musician.
Yeah, just about. It's all
Okay.
about interpretation, I'd say.
Okay. And have you done any private lessons?
No, I'm entirely self-taught.
Okay. And do you feel that you'll be better than where you at right now if you had lessons?
So I've actually gotten that question a lot, as
Hmm.
a lot of the people I've been around, they all take lessons. So I think it's a very common misconception that you need to have a teacher to guide you. I think that it's always something you can always do by yourself. Definitely, it's not for everyone, I'd say. It's not that I'm against lessons. I think they can make anyone better, but I don't know. I just never really felt like taking lessons because I don't really know why. But I think that maybe if I were to take them, definitely it would help. But I've always thought that, I like to kind of do stuff on my own. So I've just been sticking with myself.
Yeah, my thing about lessons is that if you when you have lessons, right?
Mm,
You It's basically you're gonna have to have them in college if you pursue a music career in college, and that's gonna be included into your tuition because you're gonna be required to take those classes. I say, well, why don't you just wait to take that? If if then you'll just be paying money that you already have, and then lessons can range from a lot of money, and it's
mhm,
also hard to find a good teacher um,
of course.
that that fits you the best. Um,
Mhm.
and it's very hard to find that perfect match. So
Right.
With orchestra, how do you balance your personal life and school and in orchestra if you're in a school orchestra?
So yes, I am in a school orchestra. To be honest, I don't really think there's a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
to balance out because for school orchestras, I mean, it's not exactly like a professional orchestra or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I do happen to be section lead, so that probably puts a bit more strain into it.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, it's just like just look at the music more often than just in class, and I
Mm-hmm.
think just putting in that little bit more effort will set you up for success.
Do you want to become a musician in the future?
Like as a profession,
Yes.
or
Would
like
you
just
would you do music as a profession?
uh, well, I haven't really given that much thought. Maybe, well, hmm. Well, in all honesty, probably not as a profession. It's definitely something I'm going to be keeping on the side for my whole life, I imagine, but just I don't really think it'd be what I put like 100% effort into.
Yeah. And I
Mm,
totally understand that some people want to pursue other things instead of music. And music is a very good way to heal yourself.
of course.
Yeah. So, what do you feel the best part? What advice do you have for musicians that are here, amateurs musicians? What do you have advice for them,
Hmm.
or other people that are being self-taught? What advice do you have for them as you went through that self-taught stage too?
Right. So some advice I'd have for self-taught musicians is that uh, just because you're not under the direction of some other teacher doesn't mean you should like just go all out, you know? You still need to follow a strict like process, I'd say. So technically you are still being taught, but you're being taught by yourself. So you have to kind of limit yourself to playing, I guess, like you can't like start the instrument like one day and expect to be playing some insane repertoire the
Yeah,
next, right? You have to follow a fixed step. So that was actually something that I struggled with. Like I'd say like 1 or 2 years in, I started trying to play stuff that was quite beyond my level, and that obviously I wasn't able to play it, and not being able to play it kind
yeah,
of made me seem or like made me feel like I wasn't like good enough at it, for example. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to still like follow a path even if you're not being taught. So stick to your level and just move on once you actually feel comfortable with what you're doing. So just
yeah,
don't overdo it and just be like routine, I'd say.
yeah. And I totally agree with to that with some to an extent because you
Mm.
know me on my videos, I go out and play these these incredible concertos that I wouldn't
Hmm.
think be possible for me to even hit one note perfectly, you know. And with the Tchaikovsky, the third movement opening, as you saw, as practicing, it started off horrible.
Hmm.
Oh my god,
I think it was just fine. Don't worry.
it was horrible in the beginning, but then once you practice more, it got better, and now
Hmm.
it's today where it's more is it's actually sounding like a professional. Now it's
Right.
there. Now it's just adding that touch of yourself.
Hmm.
So,
Exactly.
do you think that before you add your own interpretation, do you think you should learn how the composer wrote it?
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely say so. You first have to, it's kind of like understanding the foundation and then how that foundation can be added upon. So
Yeah.
I think first understanding the actual intent of what the music is written, then adding your own stuff like part to it, then that's definitely how that should work.
And how would you be able to? What do you do to feel the music more? Like to know what the conductor or the composer meant for the piece. What do you do? What do you do to help you improve that emotion that you're trying to build from that piece?
Right. So, hmm, I think you first have to understand like exactly what's going on in the music, right? So for
Mhm.
example, uh a decent amount of the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto, for example. I performed the second movement for a recital, and I think what you have to understand is not only what's on the music, but pay attention to what the composer was actually feeling at that time. So, for
Yeah,
example, Tchaikovsky wrote his concerto amidst his depression, right?
yeah.
And especially in the second movement, that shows. So, you just have to understand what the the writer was feeling at that moment in time, and
So do you
kind of
do you
applying that.
do you think
Mhm.
reading those little about this piece, like those, like the conductor's right, like I
Mhm.
know in a or like in a lot of orchestral pieces they have those, like modern day orchestral pieces for like schools, they host those about me, like about this piece.
Right, right.
um do you think that really helps too?
Yeah, I'd say that helps. It
Yeah,
kind of sets up the scene of what you're gonna play,
yeah.
right? So, yeah.
Like this one piece that we're doing is called Dreaming. And
Mhm.
the person who wrote the piece, he said he walked into his kids' rooms one night and saw them sleeping.
Mhm.
And he was wondering, what are they dreaming? So he
Mm.
named the piece Dreaming. So for me, I
Mhm.
imagine children dreaming.
I see.
As weird as it sound, without context, that sounds very weird. But a lot of stuff as musicians sound very weird without context.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
just a violinist. You know. So what makes a great musician?
Mm. Well, let me think about that. So, there's definitely like a few branches, I guess, of what you would define a musician as.
Hmm.
Uh, and hmm, a
And
good. Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
just like the intonation part too, right? Um,
Right.
that can play a factor into being a great musician. But yeah, continue what your thought was.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Well, a great musician. Hmm. Well, so definitely, I'd say people would probably say something like someone who practices a lot, someone who like listens a
Yeah,
lot, but it, I think it goes kind of beyond that. I think it's about what fundamentals they have because it's kind of like a technique, I'd say, because technique actually allows you to express what you actually hear in your head
yeah,
without just being limited by what your hands can do, for example. And I think a lot of the idea of being a good musician, I guess you could say, comes from just emotion. Because, like I said before, it's not just about what notes are written on the paper. It's actually about how you convey those notes to the audience when you actually play,
yeah.
right? So
And
they
I,
don't have to. Right, right.
mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and I think that being a musician
Mm,
myself, and how emotionally I play, I think the emotion plays the biggest factor of being a musician,
right.
and being a great musician. I think if, like, you can be this great, you can be the perfect technique ever. You can have you can be the you can hit every note correctly, right?
Hmm.
But if there's no emotion, what's the point? And
Exactly.
I like saying that you're not a player, you're an
Hmm.
entertainer, right?
Right, right.
Because that's what musicians are, entertainers, not players. So
Hmm.
that's just one thing that I like saying.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's well said.
Yeah,
So yeah, that just about sums up my argument. I mean, I guess being a great musician, I guess, is probably something a lot of people dream to be. I mean, I'm definitely not. I don't really imagine I ever will be a great musician, I guess. But yeah, I'd say that stuff like emotion and just
well,
how you convey.
I think
Hmm.
anybody can be a great musician, even though it's not for everybody. But
Hmm.
if you really want to do something, you'll do it. That's
Right. Yeah,
if
I
you
agree with that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So we're gonna if do you have anything you want to talk about? Any like advice that you want to give to everybody, or just you want to say to the musicians that are watching right now?
Hmm. So, yeah, I guess if I were to say, like, if I were to give one big like message, I guess to anyone who, well, I guess whose like situations, I guess, are comparable to mine. For example, I don't have a teacher or anything. I guess I just say, just like, don't stop. That's probably all.
Yeah,
You just gotta keep going. Yeah.
that's a big part. Just
Mm,
don't stop.
definitely.
Just don't
Yeah.
stop. Keep going.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest motivation was for you?
For me,
Yeah, the biggest
uh,
motivation for you.
hmm, I think just surrounding yourself with other people who have the same like passion as you kind of drives you to kind of keep going, I guess, because it's a lot of the time around about the circle that you surround yourself with, right? So I think just surrounding yourself with people with similar interests will definitely kind of push you towards where you want to go.
And also being a musician on social media. How has
Mm.
that affected you being a musician? Has that changed anything about you being a musician? Uh,
Mm.
how has social media affected you as being a musician?
So I have an account, but I'm not exactly very active on it. I haven't really posted stuff. I do plan on doing it eventually, but I guess I haven't exactly had the time to get around to that. But I can definitely see how that changed someone's way of playing because I mean, rather than being limited to just a few people who hear you play, like
Hmm.
being on social media allows about just about anyone in the world to hear you play, right? So it definitely
Yeah,
makes you think twice about who's gonna listen to your music, and it kind of, you know what I mean, right?
yeah, and I think a big
Yeah.
part of being like a musician is the connections that you have with people.
Mm,
Like I can't get a contract with Berlin Philharmonic yet because uh, I don't have that connection with somebody at Berlin Philharmonic to
right.
be invited. So I think it's based off of connections that you have, and I think personally the best way to build those sorry those connections is to be on social media and to go out and go explore places.
Mm. No, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
That's yeah, I actually forgot to mention that connections. Uh, actually, I remember the group chat you made for
yeah,
the ISO, right?
yeah,
And yeah, just meeting people there, like from, I got to like connect with so many people, like people that I wouldn't imagine that I'd ever know before. So yeah, I think just being online allows for a greater circle, like I said
yeah.
before, and you can
There's a lot
expand
of
that
people
circle.
that I thought I would have never met
Hmm.
online, like Randall Gooseby, Nicola
Right,
Benedetti, Ray Chin, even. These are
right.
all people that I just made a video one day and they just popped up and were there. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
it's just amazing to see all these people that are here to love you, to support you.
Hmm. Right.
Well, thank
Definitely.
you for joining. We really
Of
appreciate
course.
you for joining.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say?
I mean, no, I mean, unless you have any more questions.
I don't have any more questions, but thank you again for joining. You are
Yes,
a great
sir.
musician. Keep going.
Thank you.
Do not stop. Okay.
Absolutely.
You have a good day. Well, thank you everybody for watching the second episode of this podcast. My name is Amari Gregg-Ham, and I love you. Keep being a musician. Now go practice.